Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the inauguration ceremony of the 9th annual academic sessions of the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, SIMCON 2025. Please rise to receive the ceremonial procession as they make their way into the hall. and gentlemen, please remain standing as I invite the following dignitaries to grace at the head table. Dr. Krishanta Jayasekara, President, Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine. Chief guest tonight, Dr. Anil Jasinghe, Secretary, Ministry of Health and Mass Media. Guest of honor, Professor Virginia Hood, President of the International Society of Internal Medicine. Orator tonight, Professor H.M.M. Herath. Honorary Joint Secretaries of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, Dr. Rakita Higgoda and Dr. Sahan Mendes. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are now joined by the dignitaries on the head table right here on stage, please stand in respect as we honor our motherland with the national anthem.
Sri Lanka Mata, Appa Sri Lanka, Namo 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 Mata. Sundara Sri Dharini, Surani Ati Sobhamana Lanka. Ranya Ganaya Mekamal Valaturi Jaya Bhumiya Ranya. Apahata Sapasiri Seta Sadhana, Jeevanaye Mata. Vilikanu Mena Apabhakti Puja, Namo Namo Mata. Appa Sri Lanka, Namo 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 Mata. Obave Appa Vidya, Obamaya Appa Satya, Obave Appa Shanti, Appa Hagatula Bhakti, Oba Appa Aloke, Appa Ge Anuprane, Oba Appa Jeevanale, Appa Muktiya Obave, Nava Jeevana Devini, Nithila Appa Kubudu Karan Mata. Jnana Pida Madhavandina Ragena Yanu Mena Jaya Bhumikara. Ekmavaka Kedaru Kalabadina, Yamu Yamu Vinopama. Prema Vada Sarvaveda Durara, Namo Namo Mata. Appa Sri Lanka, Namo 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 Mata.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may please take your seats now. In our part of the world, it's a customary to commence any occasion with the lighting of the oil lamp, signifying ushering in of positive energy and the blessings on the gathering. So now, to do the honors of traditional lamp lighting, I'd like to invite the President of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, Dr. Krishanta Jayasekara, Chief Guest, Dr. Anil Jasinghe, the Guest of Honor, Professor Virginia Hood, Dr. Jitendra Burmacha, representing American College of Physicians, the orator tonight, Professor H.M.M. Herath, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, Director General of Health Services, Ministry of Health, Sri Lanka, Founder, President of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, Dr. Vasantha Desanayaka, Dr. Madhuvanti Hettiarachi, President-elect, Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, Vice Presidents, Professor Priyamali Jayasekara and Dr. Bandhu Siri Ratnayaka, Treasurer Dr. Yapa Udayakumara, Dr. Rakita Higuda and Dr. Sahan Mendes, Honorary Joint Secretaries of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we proceed with the lighting of the oil lamp. Thank you, everyone. You may please take your seats now. With that, ladies and gentlemen, once again, good evening to all of you and welcome to the inauguration ceremony of the 9th Annual Academic Sessions of the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, SIMCON 2025. We are gathered here today, this evening, to celebrate the spirit of internal medicine, the pursuit of clinical excellence, the compassion that defines patient care, and the unwavering commitment that unites physicians across the nation. This year's theme, One Nation, One Standard, achieving excellence in healthcare, which embodies our shared vision to elevate the standards of healthcare across Sri Lanka through unity and integrity. With that introduction, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to commence our formal proceedings for today with the welcome address. To extend a warm welcome to all of you for giving us the gift of your presence here today, this evening, it's my honor to invite the President of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, Dr. Krishant Jayasekara, to welcome the gathering and to deliver the President's address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure and pride to stand here as the 9th President of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine to welcome you all and deliver the presidential address of the inauguration ceremony of SIMCON 2025. I would extend a warm welcome to Chief Guest, Dr. Anil Jayasinghe, the Secretary to Ministry of Health and Mass Media, Professor Virginia Hood, the guest of honor, the orator today, Professor H.M.M. Herath. I'm privileged to have with us officials from the Ministry of Health, Dr. Jitendra Bhamika, ACP Global Ambassador for SIMCON 2025. A very special welcome to our distinguished international delegates representing Mayo Clinic, Arizona, USA, and NHS Trust and Global Forum. I am honored by the presence of our past presidents, council members, and members of the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine. Joining us tonight are the presidents and representatives from sister colleges. I warmly welcome you all for the inauguration ceremony of SIMCON 2025, the pinnacle event of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, marking a celebration of excellence, unity, and the enduring spirit of compassionate care. The Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine was established in 2026. It has become a long way in a very short span of time. With a membership now exceeding 500, the college has progressed rapidly, educating medical professionals, nurses, and the public while guiding postgraduates, trainees in both clinical and professional excellence. This remarkable journey has been made possible through the visionary guidance and leadership of its past presidents and councils, and unwavering dedication and commitment of its membership. Together, they have built a vibrant community devoted to knowledge, compassion, and the highest standards of care. Our theme for 2025, One Nation, One Standard, Achieving Excellence in Healthcare, embodies our vision to unify clinical practice across Sri Lanka. By standardizing care processes, we aim to ensure that every patient in every hospital receives the same standard of care. This is more than a theme. It is our pledge to deliver excellence, integrity, and equity in healthcare for our nation. The project was executed through 6 expert committees of the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, each bringing together specialists to drive standardization and quality improvements in their respective domains. The Acute Medicine Expert Committee, the Toxicology Expert Committee, the NCD Expert Committee, the Humane Care Expert Committee, the Infectious Disease Expert Committee, and the Research Hub. This project had 5 major components, each designed to strengthen clinical practice and enhance the quality of patient care across our hospitals. First one, prioritize areas needing standardization. Each expert committee initially identified and prioritized the key areas that required standardization to enhance the quality and consistency of care across our medical units. They prioritized key areas for doctors and nurses separately, ensuring that standards were tailored to the unique roles and responsibilities of both groups in delivering patient care. On your left, you have the green box for the doctors, and on your right, you have the orange box for the nurses. Rational use of antimicrobials and antimicrobial stewardship were the areas selected by the Infectious Disease Expert Committee. Today, 14th of November, is World Diabetes Day. Diabetes has emerged as a major health threat, and early screening for its comorbidities and complications is of utmost importance to prevent long-term complications and improve patient outcomes. Empathy and compassion are professional standards that are mandatory for all categories of healthcare staff, forming the way for foundation of humane and patient-centered care. Toxins and venomous stings remain a major health hazard in certain parts of the country, highlighting the need for standardized approach to their management and prevention. Step 2. Develop standardized protocols. After the prioritization phase, the next step was to develop standardized protocols tailored to the Sri Lankan context, ensuring practicality, relevance, and sustainability across the healthcare settings. So, Acute Care Expert Committee drafted monographs, stepwise approach to the management of acute coronary syndrome in medical units. Management of acute ischemic stroke from the time of admissions to the discharge. Practical approach to provision of non-invasive respiratory support and high-flow nasal oxygen in medical units. Infectious Diseases Expert Committee. Evidence-based guidelines on the rational use of antimicrobials were developed in line with the recommendation of the Sri Lanka College of Microbiologists, who also endorsed this project and contributed their expert observations. These are the two monographs for community-acquired pneumonia and cellulitis. So these are the monographs of meningitis, UTI. All these monographs can be easily accessed through the SLCIM app, which will be officially launched a little later today. NAFLD is fast becoming a major non-communicable disease burden, with diabetes identified as the main culprit. Taking this into consideration, the college has developed this user-friendly monograph to guide physicians in the management of NAFLD within medical wards and clinics across the country. Diabetes remains the leading cause of chronic kidney disease, and the monograph outlines the essential principles of screening and management of patients with diabetic nephropathy. Majority of type 2 diabetes have some form of lipid abnormality, making cardiovascular mortality 2 to 4 times higher. Therefore, early and regular screening for dyslipidemia is essential in reducing cardiovascular deaths in diabetics. Organophosphate poisoning remains a common and serious medical emergency in Sri Lanka. A clear stepwise approach to assessment and management is essential to standardize care and improve patient outcome across the treatment centers. Snake envenoming is a common medical emergency in our setting. Stings may carry a high mortality if timely and appropriate management is not instituted. So after the second phase, the third and the most challenging phase of our project was the introduction of these standards and monographs to the medical and nursing communities across the country. Enhancing competencies across medical teams. The main program was held at ClinMark NHSL in collaboration with the Quality Directorate of the Ministry of Health. The virtual meetings were led by physicians representing medical units across the more than 100 centers around the country, reflecting collective engagement and collaboration that drive our national initiatives. SLCIM extended its reach to distant regional hospitals, carrying the message of its team and recognizing the remarkable work done by physicians and healthcare teams of these areas. Our first visit was to Jaffna, the capital of the northern province, in collaboration with Jaffna Medical Association, where we introduced target-specific standard management protocols. The long coach journeys were not only entertaining, but also served as mobile meeting points for the EXCO to plan and coordinating upcoming activities. This academic activity was coordinated by Dr. Nandini Gnanaprakash, the provincial coordinator for the Northern Province, and Dr. S. Pirasad. Next, we embarked on a breathtaking train journey to Badulla, where we continued our mission to disseminate the standardization of clinical and professional practices. A truly memorable journey in the Odyssey, offering breathtaking sceneries viewed right from the cockpit. This meeting was a collaboration with Uva Clinical Society. I am thankful to Dr. Banthusir Ratnayaka, the provincial coordinating, for hosting us. Our next mission took us to the ancient city of Polonnaruwa, where we delivered the standardized protocols of clinical practice in collaboration with Polonnaruwa Clinical Society. The long coach journey was never boring, filled with lively onboard activities that kept everyone engaged. Some captures from the doctor's program at Polonnaruwa. It's equally important to educate our own peers on the updated standards of care. This was effectively achieved through a series of peer learning forums conducted across the country, fostering shared learning and uniform clinical practice. PLF1 at Matara, coordinated by Dr. Ravindra Lokugamage. PLF2 at Ragama, hosted by Dr. Kolitha Jayasundara and Professor Chamila Mettananda. PLF3 at Kurunagala, coordinated by Rohit Gamlath and Dr. Durga Manohari. Each forum is guided by the college and facilitated by a regional coordinator, fostering collaboration, friendship, and the shared pursuit of clinical excellence. I am thankful to Professor Priyamala Jayasekaran and Dr. Madhuvanti Hettiarachchi for drafting the academic programs of regional meetings and PLFs. The college conducted 4 webinars each month on fixed dates, offering participants electronic CPD points and continuous professional engagement. The therapeutic forum saw interactive academic sessions created to bring together specialists from diverse disciplines to share their expertise and perspectives. These multidisciplinary discussions focus on therapeutically challenging cases and evidence-based decision making. And I thank Dr. Ranga Gunasekara for moderating these sessions. The Advanced Diagnosis Skills Forum of SLCIM featured 7 insightful sessions that empowered members with knowledge on cutting-edge diagnostic modalities. These sessions, moderated by Dr. Sudarshan, focused on enhancing clinicians' ability to interpret complex presentations, strengthening diagnostic accuracy. The Next Gen Forum was established to empower budding clinicians, providing them a platform to showcase their interest and expertise. We had 6 such exciting and informative sessions, ably moderated by Dr. Sahan Mendis. The specialized webinars on improving clinical and professional standards. It is not only clinical standards that matter. Enhancing professional standards is equally important. The Humane Care Expert Committee contributed to this goal by conducting a series of well-attended webinars themed We Care that emphasize empathy, ethics, and professionalism in everyday clinical practice. Nurses play a pivotal role in delivering optimal patient care. It is essential that they are educated on proper clinical standards while also strengthening their professional values and competencies. The main program was conducted at the Neurotrauma Auditorium NHSL of Sri Lanka with the collaboration of Nursing Directorate of Ministry of Health. Parallel hybrid sessions were webcasted to 126 hospitals island-wide, reaching and engaging more than 8,000 nurses across the country. Slide sets of the standard practice lecture series was published and circulated among those nurses. Standardization-focused educational programs for nurses were conducted during all 3 regional clinical meetings. These are some captures of the meeting held at Nurses Training School at Polonnaruwa. So we went further. Additional ward-based training were conducted at medical units of 5 major hospitals by college members. The fourth step was a performance measurement through audits. The fourth and most decisive component of our project was this implementation of performance measurement through national level audits, ensuring that the standards introduced were effectively translated into clinical practice across the country. 3 key areas were audited in 5 major hospitals: rational use of antimicrobials, use of modified early warning score, and rational use of oxygen. We selected 5 centers: National Hospital Colombo, National Hospital Kandy, National Hospital Galle, Teaching Hospital Jaffna, and Teaching Hospital Anuradhapura. Governance and approval pathways were adopted. Timeline was drawn, and we had the initial proposal writing. Baseline survey was done in May and June. Then we had the action, that is the implementation of the education material or empowerment of the medical and nursing staff. Finally, we did the re-audit in September and we finished it in October 2025. So this is the first audit report. I'm just briefing on that. The rational use of antimicrobials. Standards were compared against the guidelines published by the College of Microbiologists and the use of antimicrobial prescription chart. These were the demographics of the baseline survey, and these are the data from the re-audit. And this is a comparison of the baseline to the re-audit. After the educational program, there was a significant improvement in adherence to national guidelines. We noticed that antibiotic prescription chart was attached and completed more on the re-audit. Still, there was only a marginal improvement in the recommended medical review of this antimicrobial prescription chart, which needs improvement. Maintenance of modified early warning chart. So standards were compared with the national MUSE guidelines. This became a H form in 2024. So it's these were this was a summary. It was encouraging. So you see the maroon bars are the final audit, re-audit, and the baseline audit is in blue. So it was encouraging, as there were improvements in all medical and nursing domains assessed after the educational program. The final audit report is on rational use of oxygen. So standards were checked against the draft national oxygen guidelines. Oxygen prescription practices were below par even after the re-audit, and it needs proper implementation. So audit reports with conclusions and the college recommendations to improve standards based on 3 audits would be handed over today to the chief guest, Dr. Anil Jayasinghe, Secretary of Health and Mass Media, after the presidential address. We've gone beyond that. These 3 national audit reports have been submitted as free papers to European Federation of Internal Medicine Congress 2026 in Vienna, Austria. We are confident these will highlight our achievements on the international stage. It's my pleasant duty to thank the college regional coordinators of the 5 audit centers, Dr. Kumudini Jayasinghe from National Hospital Kandy, Dr. Nandana Dikmadugar from National Hospital of Sri Lanka, Dr. Nandini Jnanaprakash from Teaching Hospital Jaffna, Dr. Nuwan Premawardana from Teaching Hospital Anuradhapura, and Professor Lakmal Fonseca from National Hospital Galle. Collecting data on more than 1,000 patients, facilitating the implementation of protocols could have been impossible without the commitment of these 5 pre-interns designated 1 to each center. From proposal writing, ethical approval, data collection, methodology, implementation to evaluation, every phase was elegantly monitored by Principal Investigator Dr. Sahan Mendis under the guidance and advice of the chairperson of the Research Hub, Professor Priyamali Jayasekara. Under the dedicated leadership of the chairpersons of 6 expert committees worked diligently to achieve the main objectives of Council 2025. Their tireless commitment and unity of purpose made the realization of our goals possible. Dr. Ganaka Senaratna, Human Care Expert Committee, Dr. Madhuvanti Hettirachi, Toxicology Expert Committee, Professor Priyamali Jayasekara, Research Hub, Professor Chamila Mettananda, NCD Expert Committee, Dr. Jagat Pushpakumara, Acute Medicine Expert Committee, and Professor Lakmal Fonseca, Infectious Disease Expert Committee. With their steadfast support, coordination becomes seamless, and my responsibilities as president were greatly eased. Coordinating island-wide educational projects, regional meetings, and PLF is never an easy task. My sincere appreciation is extended to Dr. Chaminda Kottage for his outstanding dedication and leadership in his vital role as a national coordinator for academic activities. The standardization project included improving nursing standards in medical wards and the implementation of key protocols. We extend our sincere appreciation to Mrs. MBC Samanmali, Director Nursing, and special grade nursing officers of the medical units of 5 audit centers. The best nursing innovation would be felicitated later today. In parallel to main projects, several subcommittees function actively under Council 2025. I have selected 4 of them today to highlight their noteworthy activities. The SLCIM publication wing remained vibrant throughout the year, driven by a diverse and dynamic group of individuals who contributed their creativity and dedication to every publication. It had 3 arms. The Asian Journal of Internal Medicine, the Index Official Journal of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, stands as a testament to our commitment to academic excellence and research advancement. The continued success of the Asian Journal of Internal Medicine is made possible through the dedication and commitment of its editorial team led by Dr. Suranga Manilgama and Dr. Madhuvanti Hettiarachchi. SLCIM continues its mission of education and knowledge sharing through its publications, the Monthly Pulse, the biannual newsletter, and the Journal Watch. The success of these publications reflects the dedication and creativity of our editorial team. I extend my heartfelt appreciation to Shashi Karnaratne and Dr. Dilushala Mabudsurya for their outstanding editorial leadership. The preceding book marks yet another remarkable achievement by the college editors. This publication stands as a comprehensive record of the scientific and academic excellence showcasing SIMCON 2025. The third arm is the special publications. These are the latest college publications which would be ceremonially launched today. The SLCIM Past Test series, first published in 2022, gained such popularity and value among trainees, and that is warranted a reprint this year. A remarkable publication titled Meeting Humanness at Bedside will be officially launched later today, marking a significant milestone in promoting compassionate care in clinical practice. I am thankful to Dr. Shehandi Silva, the chief editor, Professor Saroj Jayasinghe and Dr. Ganaka Senaratne as co-editors. Symptom analysis in acute medicine is designed to guide junior doctors in developing systematic clinical reasoning and bedside diagnosis skill. Thanks to Dr. Dilushala Mabudsurya, spearheaded this project, and Dr. Ushani Varyaparam and Dr. Ganaka Senaratne for their valued contributions as co-editors. The latest edition of SLCIM Past Test series is a picture test volume 2, stands as another valuable record of trainees. Special thanks to Dr. Pamaditha Madanayaka for leading this project, and to special appreciation to Professor Priyamali Jayasek, Dr. Dilshan Pera and Dr. Rojanari Silla. My sincere appreciation goes to Professor Priyamali Jayasekara for her meticulous coordination between the authors and the publishers, ensuring the successful completion of the special publications project, which would be ready for sale at SIMCON 2025. Clinical skills form an integral component of internal medicine, and the college spearheaded 3 major projects to strengthen hands-on competencies in clinical practice. Point of care sonography is an essential skill for physicians, and the college launched a PCCM workshop to help and achieve this objective. 2 workshops were conducted at University Hospital KDU, and I would thank the course director, Dr. Ganaka Senaratne, and the esteemed panel of resources. SIM, the Respiratory Support in Internal Medicine, is a collaborative initiative of 3 sister colleges: College of Intensivists, College of Anesthesiologists, and College of Pulmonologists. It empowered participants with their skills and confidence in manage respiratory support effectively. SLCIM conducted a hands-on skills training workshop for pre-interns on the request of the Ministry of Health. This workshop ensured that newly qualified doctors are better prepared for clinical practice, bridging the gap between graduation and real-world hospital responsibilities. This workshop, I extend my sincere appreciation to Dr. Durga Manohari, Dr. Prabhashini Kumaryami, Dr. Madhuvanti Hettiarachchi and Dr. Sonanga Manilgama for executing this project to great success. Yet again, the study material was released for future references. Postgraduate trainees are the future of the college. To empower them in clinical practice and build confidence for examinations, the college conducted 3 key projects dedicated to training and professional growth. The METS mock exams part 1 and 2. A total of 8 medical emergency training sessions were conducted under the coordination of Professor Chamara Dalugama. The MD Part 1 mock examinations were successfully conducted at 4 regional centers, moving out of the main examination center on the request of the chief examiners. My sincere gratitude is extended to all 4 coordinators. The MD Part 2 mock examinations were conducted at 3 centers, providing candidates with a real-time examination experience that closely mirrored the actual assessment process. I would extend my appreciation to the coordinators of all 3 centers. SLCIM, we believe that public engagement and awareness play a vital role in disease management and prevention. Vedajana Kathikawa is an interactive public awareness program initiated by Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine to empower the communities with knowledge on non-communicable diseases. Conducted in both Sinhalese and Tamil, this initiative bridges language and cultural barriers to ensure equitable health education across the nation. We conducted 4 sessions. This interactive format encouraged participants to share their experiences, ask questions, and clarify misconceptions, making it not just a lecture but a true dialogue between doctors and the community. SLCIM provides a platform for healthcare professionals to collaborate, exchange ideas, and uphold the highest standards of care. College, in collaboration with the Ceylon College of Physicians, the Umbrella Association of Physicians, and many other professional colleges, carried out numerous educational initiatives throughout the year to strengthen clinical standards across the nation. We proudly declare open SIMCON 2025, the pinnacle event of SLCIM Council 2025. This moment marks the culmination of a year devoted to excellence, to innovation, and to raising the standards of care across our nation's healthcare landscape. It unfolds a rich academic tapestry: 6 pre-congress sessions, 5 symposia, 4 plenaries, 3 meet the expert sessions, the global forum, how to pass MD, veterans files, young internationals, and the SIMCON quiz, crowned by the newest feature, the masterclass tracks. We invite all to be part of this inspiring journey of learning and collaboration. 2 pre-Congress AI workshops were conducted by world-renowned Dr. Vaikundan Rajaratnam. A ReSIM workshop provided participants with hands-on training on respiratory support. The special pre-Congress workshop on case-based discussion in acute medicine was conducted to foster multidisciplinary collaboration. This interactive session brought together specialists from diverse fields to analyze real-life clinical scenarios, emphasizing teamwork, critical reasoning, and integration to expertise in managing acutely ill patients. Pre-Congress 5, the 9th PCCM workshop. Under the guidance of the Humane Care Expert Committee, the workshop Heart of Healing Life Stories of Wellness brought a unique dimension to this academic platform. This storytelling session beautifully blended medicine with humanity, as both senior and junior academics from diverse specialties shared their real-life patient experiences, reminding us that healing extends beyond treatment to empathy, compassion, and human connection. A battle of minds. 11 medical faculties competed the Inter-Medical Faculty Internal Medicine Quiz. The champions will be felicitated later today, and I am thankful to Professor Chamara Dalugama and Dr. Rakita Higoda for the meticulous execution. Let's take a brief look at the key components of SIMCON 2025. So there will be 5 plenaries, so 5 symposia, 4 plenaries, 3 meet the experts, and then masterclass tracks. And we have veterans files, young internist lens. There's a how to pass MD session. And it concludes on a lively note with a SIMCON quiz. I extend my sincere gratitude to the international faculty of SIMCON 2025 for sharing their expertise and enriching our sessions with global insights. Also, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all local experts whose valuable contributions and dedications would make SIMCON 2025 a resounding success. SIMCON 2025 will undoubtedly be remembered as a truly remarkable event made possible by the guidance of our Congress Chair, Dr. Suranga Manilgama, and the unwavering commitment and innovative spirit of our Joint Secretaries, with special appreciation to Dr. Rakita Higoda for the professionalism and creative ideas that helped turn this vision into a reality. SLCIM Council, or what we call the Family 2025. I was privileged to be part of an exceptionally close-knit family. It's not a simple council whose support and encouragement inspired me to reach new heights. The elegant blue cloaks worn by our council symbolizes unity, integrity, and the pursuit of excellence in internal medicine. I acknowledge the invaluable advice and guidance extended by the 4 past presidents who were part of the Council 2025. Your wisdom, experience have been pillars of strength. There are numerous council members and many members outside the council whose names I have not had the opportunity to mention individually, yet those contributions have been invaluable. I extend my sincere apologies for my inability to acknowledge each of them personally due to time constraints. This council created a moment of SLCIM history by having an all-male executive committee distinguished in their significant white shirts. I'm quite certain that my honorary joint secretaries will graciously thank everyone but themselves. It is therefore my pleasant duty to express my heartfelt gratitude to these 2 gems, Dr. Rakita Higoda and Sahan Mendis. Words alone cannot truly capture their dedication, and to our honorary joint secretary, Dr. Yapa Udayakumara, thanks for the unwavering support and meticulous coordination which ensured everything ran seamlessly despite an exceptionally demanding academic calendar. Distinguished invitees, members of the college, ladies and gentlemen, I take this opportunity to thank you for accepting our invitation to grace the inauguration of SIMCON 2025. I am confident that you will continue to uphold and support the endeavors of SLCIM. I also extend my humble invitation for you to join us for the main conference, which will span 2 full days beginning from tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring leadership, very sincere warm welcome address, and insightful opening remarks. As mentioned in the President's address, the SLCIM has conducted 3 clinical audits across multiple tertiary care centers under the theme One Nation, One Standard, achieving excellence in healthcare, reflecting college commitment to improve quality, safety, and uniformity of clinical care throughout the nation. Marking the successful completion of this initiative, we are now going to ceremonially hand over the report of clinical audits on standardization project to Ministry of Health. For the ceremonial handover, I'd like to invite Dr. Anil Singh, Secretary for Ministry of Health, on stage. Also, representing the investigators of the audits, I'd like to invite Dr. Krishant Jayasekara, President SLCIM, and Dr. Sahan Mendis, Joint Secretary SLCIM, on stage. Thank you, sir. We are truly delighted that our gathering today is enhanced by the presence and expertise of our guest of honor, Professor Virginia Hood, President of the International Society of Internal Medicine and the distinguished global leader in the field of internal medicine. Now, to officially introduce the guest of honor to you, I'd like to invite Dr. Krishant Jayasekara, the President of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, to the lectern.
It's with great honor and deep appreciation that we welcome Professor Virginia L. Hood, a distinguished physician, academic, and global leader in internal medicine, as a guest of honor at SIMCON 2025. Professor Virginia L. Hood, MBBS, MPH, MACP, FRACP, FRCPE, hails from Burlington, Vermont, USA. She serves as Professor of Medicine Emerita at the University of Vermont and as a consultant nephrologist at the University of Vermont Health Network. Her illustrious career is marked by a lifelong commitment to advancing medical sciences and patient care. Professor Hood currently serves as the President of the International Society of Internal Medicine, fostering collaboration and knowledge exchange among internists across the world. She also holds the title of President Emerita of the American College of Physicians, one of the world's most respected professional bodies in internal medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege and honor for the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine to have Professor Virginia L. Hood with us this evening. May I now warmly invite Professor Virginia L. Hood to address the gathering.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Krishana, very much for those kind remarks of introduction. President Krishantha Jayasekara, Dr. Anil Singh, distinguished guests and attendees. As President of the International Society of Internal Medicine, I'm especially honored to attend 2025 annual SIMCON. This is your 9th session, but for me, it's the 2nd time, so that makes it a special privilege. I bring greetings from the International Society Executive Committee and an invitation from us and the Taiwanese Society of Internal Medicine to attend the World Congress of Internal Medicine in Taipei next year, about this time, November 12th to 15th in 2026. And this is a serious invitation. I hope many of you could come. Now, the International Society of Internal Medicine was founded in 1948. It's an organization of internal medicine societies and colleges in 64 countries. Its purpose is to promote scientific knowledge and unity in internal medicine, to further the education of young internists, and to encourage friendship among physicians in all countries. The Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine has been an active member of SLCIM since 2017. And both organizations have had productive collaborations around the SIMCON annual meetings. Once again, we have a fitting venue to further these efforts with the SIMCON theme of unity, equity, standards, and excellence for healthcare. In every country these days, we as physicians and our patients are being required to evaluate the torrents of rapidly changing information, misinformation, and disinformation that's continually thrust upon us. In addition, we are subjected to the pressures of using new and seemingly continually updated and tyrannical technologies. These are supposedly designed to help us, but they consume our time and add a level of angst to some of our medical practice. And they still leave us to decide what is really beneficial and what is just noise, more noise that is increasing and adding to our polluted world. Yes, these can be threats, and threats to our providing the excellent care in this now third decade of the 21st century. But with them comes opportunities. We are doctors. Doctor means teachers, educators, and it's our responsibility as individuals, and even more so as trusted medical societies, to help each other and our patients navigate these tumultuous waters and provide safe harbors containing evidence-based information wherever possible. And we have the pathophysiological foundations and scientific methods to do this. Attending meetings like this one is one such opportunity and a great privilege. It allows us to learn not only from our distinguished speakers, but from each other, and help us know how to best address these and the other challenges so we can apply the power of internal medicine practice to improve the lives of our patients. I would like to thank President Jayasekara, the Sri Lankan College of Internal Medicine, and the SIMCON organizers for their kind invitation to me to attend. My wish is for everyone here to benefit from the educational opportunities and fellowship that are provided by the excellent program being presented. I look forward to participating and meeting with as many of you as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam, for your inspiring remarks and for your continued support to Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, and we are deeply honored by your presence as our guest of honor today. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine takes a proud step forward today with the launch of its digital platform, a gateway that connects knowledge, collaboration, and the clinical excellence. This platform brings together two innovative applications, the SLCIM app and PCSIM app, designed to bridge clinical learning and modern technology. The SLCIM app, first introduced under the leadership of Professor Tilak Jayalat during his presidency, and now we take a bold step forward with an upgraded version integrating the SIMCON 2025 interface. Through this, participants can seamlessly explore all conference sessions, workshops, and scientific sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, I now have the honor of inviting the President of SLCIM, Dr. Krishant Jayasekara, and the Council Member of SLCIM, Dr. Roshan Lianage, to come forward for the official launch of the SLCIM app.
We are delighted to introduce another milestone in the digital journey of the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, the launch of the new and updated version of the SLCIM mobile app. This innovative platform brings the college's activities, resources, and updates directly to your fingertips. Through the app, users can access the SLCIM website, stay informed with real-time updates on college events, academic sessions, and educational activities, and explore a rich collection of learning material, journals, and news. The newly added SIMCON component integrates seamlessly with the main platform, allowing registrants to view the conference program and access lecture materials and conference resources all in one place. Available on both Android and iOS, the SLCIM app offers a truly modern and interactive experience for healthcare professionals who are committed to staying up to date. The SLCIM mobile app, connecting knowledge, people, and progress through innovation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just launched the SLCIM app. Thank you, Dr. Roshan Lianage. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Ganika Senaratne, the Director of SLCIM Provider Course in Point of Care Sonography in Internal Medicine, to join with Dr. Krishant Jayasekara for the launch of PC-SIM app.
In 2022, we established PC-SIM with a clear purpose: to empower physicians and senior trainees in point-of-care sonography for acute medical decision-making. Since then, 9 workshops have been conducted, training more than 200 consultants and postgraduate trainees across the country. Registrants have lectures and hands-on training in 4 skill stations, namely lung, heart, abdomen, and vessels, followed by a practical assessment and MCQs. Today, we proudly introduce the next step in this journey, the SLCIM digital platform and the PC-SIM mobile app. Registrants will now have access to workshop materials, step-by-step guidance, assessments, feedback, competency monitoring, and certification wherever they are, all in one seamless interface on both Android and iOS. With this initiative, the college reinforces its commitment to innovation, education, and patient-centered, evidence-based care.
Ladies and gentlemen, this marks another milestone in the digital transformation of internal medicine in Sri Lanka. Thank you, Dr. Krishant Jayasekara and Dr. Ganika Senaratne, for officially unveiling this digital advancement. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it's now my great honor to invite Dr. Krishant Jayasekara, the President of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, to graciously introduce and invite our chief guest, Dr. Anija Singh, Secretary to the Ministry of Health and Mass Media Sri Lanka, to address this distinguished gathering.
It's my great honor and privilege to introduce our chief guest this evening, Dr. Anil Jayasinghe, a distinguished medical administrator, a visionary leader, and public health expert whose career has profoundly shaped Sri Lanka's health landscape. Dr. Jayasinghe currently serves as a secretary to the Ministry of Health and Mass Media, a position he assumed in December 2024. Prior to this, he served as a secretary to the Ministry of Environment and earlier as the Director General of Health Service, where he provided exemplary leadership to Sri Lankan health system, particularly during the early phase of COVID-19 pandemics. A graduate of the National Medical University of Ukraine, Dr. Jayasinghe holds a Doctor of Medicine in Medical Administration and Master of Science in Community Medicine from the Postgraduate Institute of Medicine, University of Colombo, as well a Master of Public Administration from the Postgraduate Institute of Management, University of Sri Jawadanapura. Throughout his career, Dr. Jayasinghe has held numerous key administrative positions, including Director of Colombo South Teaching Hospital, Deputy Director of the National Hospital of Sri Lanka, Medical Superintendent of the Provincial Hospitals in Badulla, each marked by his unwavering commitment to quality healthcare, efficiency, and humane service delivery. Educated at Mahinda College Galle and Ananda College Colombo, Dr. Jayasinghe's journey from clinician to one of the most respected health administrators in the country stands as a testament to his dedication, intellect, and integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Anil Jayasinghe, Secretary to the Ministry of Health and Mass Media, and our chief guest to address this distinguished gathering.
Thank you. Dr. Krishanta Jayasekara, President of the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, Professor Virginia Hood, the guest of honor, Professor Herath, the keynote speaker tonight, the office bearers, the members of the college, the past presidents, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure and privilege to address you this evening at the inauguration of SIMCON 2025, the 9th annual academic sessions of the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine. The college stands today as a premier professional body representing consultant physicians across the nation, men and women who tirelessly deliver comprehensive care to patients across every level of our healthcare system. The college has consistently displayed leadership in advancing not only clinical care but also education, research, and professional development. One of the most admirable features of the college work is its unwavering dedication to continuous medical education. Through a wide range of CME programs, webinars, and regional meetings, the college has fostered a culture of lifelong learning and professional collaboration among physicians. This year's theme, One Nation, One Standard, Achieving Excellence in Healthcare, perfectly captures the college vision to ensure that every citizen, regardless of location, receives care that meets the same high standards of quality and compassion. The college also took commendable steps in auditing standards of care across leading institutions such as National Hospital of Sri Lanka, Teaching Hospital of Kandy, and I believe 3 more institutions. These audits focusing on antibiotic stewardship, oxygen prescription, and early warning score system demonstrate the college's proactive role in enhancing patient safety and clinical governance. As you all know, this 18th starts the Antimicrobial Resistance Week. Now, there are great inventions that have happened in this world, of course, including in healthcare. One of the greatest inventions is invention of penicillin by Alexander Fleming almost 100 years ago in 1928. And why I say is that this could be the greatest invention in the healthcare is because after invention, with the usage of antibiotics, the rampant infectious diseases world over, the morbidity and mortality came down drastically. And that actually helped the world community to be much more healthier than ever before. And but the issue was not with the antibiotic, but with us. It's about misuse and overuse. And as you know, whatever the resource that we use from Mother Nature, we borrow from the future generations. So therefore, actually, we have to use properly the resources that are given to us, during our lifetime. So, but what happened here was overuse and misuse. But it's not only in healthcare. It's in the health, animal, plant, environment interface, everywhere. So now it has come to a critical point that, just to say one thing, it's the invention of, the discovery of new antibiotics, very hard to come by. And I think it's about 30 years since that the last class of antibiotics was discovered. So, therefore, I believe at the members of the internal medicine college, where you have 500 membership, and the working in secondary and tertiary care health services in this country, all over the country. I think you are much better placed than any other specialty to take, stewardship in areas like antimicrobial resistance, but not limited to. Now, in hospitals, as you know, we have drugs and therapeutic committees, infectious control committees, and very many committees. I believe the members of this college can take a lead role in those committees and try to control. And the audit report that the president presented to me is a testimony, and also we have the Quality and Patient Safety Bureau in the Ministry of Health and Mass Media. It was a unit, but now it's a bureau, and I'm sure the college can work with the Quality Bureau closely, and we would really like that to happen. So together we can sort of bring in some transformational changes in healthcare. By conducting regional meetings in Badulla, Polonnaru and Jaffna, and the college has ensured equitable access to academic enrichment for doctors beyond major cities. Its peer learning forums and skill development programs for pre-intern doctors have empowered young professionals with practical competencies, nurturing both clinical skills and ethical professionalism. The inclusion of online lectures further amplifies accessibility and inclusivity. Recognizing the importance of evolving medical technology, the college has organized highly sought after workshops on respiratory support and point of care sonography, which have become flagship training opportunities for clinicians nationwide. Equally inspiring is the We Care lecture series conducted by Human Care Expert Committee, a program that reminds us that true excellence in medicine lies not only in knowledge but also in empathy, respect, and compassion. The college publications, including reference texts on acute medicine, postgraduate guidance, and human care, are invaluable contributions to academic medicines in Sri Lanka. Moreover, its close collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Mass Media in policy formulation, guideline development, and standard settings is an outstanding example of how professional organizations can influence national health policy and drive systemic improvement. SIMCON 2025 stands as the culmination of all these remarkable achievements. It brings together a vibrant community of experts, both local and international, sharing insights that push the boundaries of medical science and patient care. The college use of digital platforms, such as we witnessed a little while ago, to expand participation reflects its forward-thinking approach to inclusivity and education. Its initiatives to conduct mock OSCEs for postgraduate trainees is another example of its dedication to nurturing the next generation of specialists. Ladies and gentlemen, the achievements of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine are a testament to what can be accomplished through vision, commitment, and collaboration. The college has truly embodied its theme, One Nation, One Standard, Achieving Excellence in Healthcare. On behalf of the Ministry of Health and Mass Media, I extend our deepest appreciation to the President, the Council, and the members of the College for their unwavering services to the medical profession and the people of Sri Lanka. We are proud to continue this partnership as we strive together towards a healthier, more equitable, and compassionate nation. I wish SIMCON 2025 every success and thank the college once again for its invaluable contribution to the advancement of healthcare in this country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts with us this evening, and we are deeply honored by your presence as our chief guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, we now take a special moment to recognize and celebrate the scholarly contributions of our esteemed members of the Sri Lankan College of Internal Medicine, and we are ready to proudly present the latest publications authored and edited by members of the college, symbolizing our collective commitment to advancing knowledge and clinical excellence in internal medicine. To begin, let us pay our attention to a brief video presentation highlighting the college's latest publication, SLCIM Guide, Symptom Analysis in Acute Medicine.
It is with great pride that we unveil an important publication from the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, SLCIM Guide, Symptom Analysis in Acute Medicine. This guide embodies the collective wisdom of experienced clinicians. Years of bedside practice and academic teaching has been distilled into a concise, practical framework for analyzing acute medical symptoms. It is designed to help practitioners think critically, act decisively, and deliver evidence-based care even in resource-limited settings. Aimed at medical students, doctors in training, and practicing clinicians, the SLCIM guide bridges the gap between knowledge and practice, strengthening both clinical reasoning and patient care. With this publication, the college proudly reaffirms its enduring commitment to excellence in internal medicine and the advancement of healthcare standards in Sri Lanka.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite Dr. Krishanta Jayasekara, President of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, to join us on stage for the official book launch. I'd also like to invite Dr. Dilusha Lama Badasurya and Dr. Ushani Varya Peruma, representing the editors of the publication, to ceremonially hand over the book titled SLCIM Guide, Symptom Analysis in Acute Medicine to the President. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, our next publication is another proud achievement of the college, and that is SLCIM Pass Test Series Picture Test for MD MRCP Volume 2. Let's see a brief video of the book.
We are pleased to unveil yet another proud publication under the SLCIM Pass Test Series, Picture Test for MD MRCP Volume 2. This second volume is a remarkable compilation of nearly 100 high-quality clinical images contributed by our esteemed members and clinicians from across Sri Lanka. Each image reflects the unique clinical diversity of our local practice and serves as an invaluable learning resource. The book is enriched with questions, answers, and concise yet insightful explanations for every case, making it a powerful tool for knowledge building and exam preparation. Specially designed for postgraduate trainees and practicing physicians, this guide is particularly useful for those preparing for MD and MRCP examinations. Picture Test Book Volume 2 from the SLCIM Pass Test Series stands as another testament to the college's commitment to academic excellence, clinical learning, and professional growth within internal medicine.
May I invite Professor Priyamali Jayasekara and Dr. Pamuditha Madanayaka, representing the editors of the Picture Test Book, to present a copy of this volume to the President. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next publication, and that showcased the compassionate heart of medicine. We are delighted to introduce SLCIM Guide, Meeting Humaneness at the Bedside, a practical guide to improve compassion in clinical practice. Let's have a look at the video presentation on the book.
It is with deep pride and heartfelt purpose that we announce the launch of another remarkable publication by the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine. Meeting Humaneness at Bedside, a practical guide to improve compassion in clinical practice. This guide is a celebration of the human spirit in medicine, a collection of reflections and real-life experiences from veteran physicians and clinicians, illuminating what it truly means to care with empathy, respect, and compassion. It serves as a guiding light for doctors, trainees, and the wider medical fraternity, reminding us that science and skill achieve their fullest meaning only when paired with humanity. Through this publication, the Humane Care Expert Committee of the College seeks to reaffirm the timeless values of humane and ethical care, inspiring every clinician to uphold compassion as the cornerstone of healing and professional excellence. The SLCIM Humane Care Expert Committee guides all of us to meet humaneness at the bedside.
May I now invite Dr. Ganaka Senaratne, Chair of the SLCIM Humane Care Expert Committee and the driving force behind this publication, accompanying Professor Saroj Jayasinghe and Editor-in-Chief of this book, Dr. Shehan Silva, to hand over the book to the President. Thank you, sir. Finally, this year also marks the release of the second edition of the SLCIM Past Test Series, a hallmark educational resource that continues to guide many aspiring physicians towards excellence. Let's now take a moment to watch a short video showcasing this updated edition.
In 2022, the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine launched the acclaimed Past Test Series, picture tests, data interpretation, Viva in medical emergencies, and short cases, tailored for MD and MRCP trainees. Our first edition sold out swiftly. Now, by popular demand, we proudly present the second edition of all 4 books, refined, relevant, and ready to empower your exam success.
Now, I'd like to invite Dr. Krishantha Jayasekara, the President of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, to present this year's SLCIM publications to the Chief Guest, Dr. Anil Jayasinghe, and the Guest of Honor tonight, Professor Virginia Hood. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause as we have officially launched the publications for this year? These publications will undoubtedly enrich the academic and clinical pursuits of the internal medicine fraternity. Thank you, everyone. As we continue this memorable evening, we take a moment to recognize the spirit of international collaboration that strengthens our professional community. The Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine is honored to partner with the American College of Physicians, fostering shared learning, academic exchange, and clinical excellence across the borders. To mark this valued partnership, may I now invite Dr. Jitendra Burmacha, representing the American College of Physicians, to present a memento of goodwill to Dr. Kanishka Jayasekara, the President of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine. Also, as a gesture of partnership reflecting mutual respect and collaboration, Dr. Krishant Jayasekara will now present a symbol of collaboration to Dr. Jitendra Burmacha. Thank you, sir. We now move on to a moment of celebration and recognition, and that is the presentation of SIMCON 2025 awards, acknowledging outstanding contributions and achievements in the field of internal medicine. I'd like to invite Dr. Rakita Higoda, Honorary Joint Secretary of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, to announce the winners. Also, I'd like to invite Dr. Krishant Jayasekara on stage to hand over the awards.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to one of the most inspiring moments of this evening, the presentation of the SIMCON Awards. Through these awards, the college recognizes outstanding contributions to clinical practice, research, innovation, and academic excellence. We begin with the SLCIM Inter-University Medical Students Internal Medicine Quiz, a hallmark event that showcases the brilliance of our future doctors. This year's competition witnessed the participation of 11 medical faculties across the country, reflecting the growing spirit of academic collaboration and healthy competition among our medical undergraduates. Let us now recognize the outstanding teams. The second runners-up, Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo. The first runners-up, Faculty of Medicine, General Sir John Kothulawala Defence University. And the champions, Faculty of Medical Sciences, University of Sri Jayawardenepura. Congratulations to all team members for their dedication and their exceptional performance. May I now invite the President of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, Dr. Krishant Jayasekara, to present the awards to the winning team. It's my pleasure to call upon the members of the winning team from the University of Sri Jayawardenepura, Indivara Tilakaratna, Vardaraja Lakshika, Shamod Disanayaka, Yomashi Dikmadugoda, and Tharidu Dinetra. Congratulations to our young champions of internal medicine. The next award recognizes a distinguished academic whose contribution to research continues to advance medical knowledge and patient care. The SLCIM research grant for the year 2025 is awarded for the proposed research on prevalence and clinical profile of different stages of metabolic dysfunction associated steatotic liver disease in the Ragama Grama Nildari division to Professor Chamila Mettananda, Professor of Pharmacology, Faculty of Medicine, University of Kelaniya. May I now invite Professor Chamila Mettananda to the stage to receive the research grant from the President of the College. Congratulations, Professor Mettananda, for receiving the research grant for the year 2025. Next, we recognize the excellence in scholarly publication, the driving force behind evidence-based practice, and the national scientific visibility. The SLCIM Best Published Paper Award is presented to an outstanding publication titled Evaluation of BBIBP Sinopharm COVID-19 Vaccine Effectiveness in Sri Lanka, a test-negative case control study by Professor Shamila De Silva, Professor in Medicine, Faculty of Medicine, University of Kelaniya. May I invite Professor Shamila De Silva to the stage to receive the award. Congratulations, madam. The next award honors the dedication and creativity of the nursing profession. The SLCIM Best Nursing Innovation Award is presented to an innovative project titled A Heartfelt and a Heart-Touching Relief to the Healing Land, enhancing safety and patient outcomes via tobacco, poisoning, and suicide admission prevention, a project led by Ms. P.S.L. Pemadasa, Nursing Officer from the Base Hospital, Mayanganaya. May I invite Ms. Pemadasa to the stage to receive her award. This initiative exemplifies the spirit of preventive medicine and compassionate nursing care that saves lives every day. Congratulations. Innovation lies at the heart of service excellence. The next award recognizes a project that has not only improved patient care, but also strengthened the infrastructure of healthcare delivery in a resource-constrained setting. The award for the SLCIM Most Innovative Service Improvement Project is awarded for his pioneering work on the establishment of a fully functioning medical intensive care unit at the District General Hospital, Nuwara, to Dr. Ranga Gunasekara, consultant physician from the District General Hospital, Nuwara. May I now invite Dr. Gunasekara to the stage to receive this well-deserved recognition. Congratulations, Dr. Gunasekara. Your achievement stands as an inspiring example of vision, leadership, and innovation in healthcare. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me once again in applauding all our award recipients for their dedication, innovation, and service to the advancement of healthcare in Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving to the highlight of the agenda today. Our inauguration ceremony today is also enhanced by the expertise and presence of Professor H.M.M. Herath, Professor in Medicine, University of Ruhuna, who will be delivering Professor T. Varagunam oration celebrating a pioneer in internal medicine and medical education. Now, to officially introduce our distinguished orator to you, also to present the Orator Medal and the certificate to Professor Herath, please join me in welcoming back to the lectern the President of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, Dr. Krishantha Jayasekara.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Professor HMM Herath, the distinguished orator for this year's Professor T. Varagunam Oration. Professor Herath currently serves as a professor in medicine at the Faculty of Medicine, University of Roona, and as honorary consultant physician at the National Hospital, Gaul. He also holds appointments as consultant physician in internal medicine at Southwest Healthcare, Victoria, Australia, and honorary senior lecturer in medicine at Deakin University, Australia. A proud alumnus of the University of Roona, Professor Herath graduated with first-class honors in medicine, securing distinctions in 9 subjects, placing second in the National Merit Order, and winning 7 gold medals, including the Caroline Mohotti Gold Medal for the highest aggregate, the Sir Ernest De Silva Gold Medal for the most outstanding medical graduate, and several other recognizing his exceptional performance in medicine, pediatrics, community medicine, and pharmacology. He obtained his Doctor of Medicine from University of Colombo, followed by membership of the Royal College of Physicians, and subsequently earned prestigious fellowship, FRCP Edinburgh, FCCP Sri Lanka, and most recently, FRACP Australia. Professor Herath has held many leadership positions, including former Secretary of the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine and the Gaul Medical Association, former President of the Roona Faculty of Medical Teachers Association, and former Head of the Department of Medicine and Pharmacology at the University of Roona. He has also served as the Director of Physical Education at Southwest Healthcare, reflecting his deep commitment to academic and clinical excellence. A dedicated clinician and a researcher, Professor Herath has authored over 35 publications in peer-reviewed journals, presented more than 60 abstracts at local and international scientific forums, and written 3 medical textbooks. He has also delivered 2 previous orations, the GMA oration in 2016 on gestational diabetes mellitus, and the FMAS oration in 2017 on cardiovascular risk assessment in diabetes. In recognition of his scholarship, leadership, and lifelong dedication to the advancement of internal medicine, it is indeed notable that Professor HMM Herath delivers his year's Professor T. Varagunam Oration at the annual academic sessions of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, I cordially invite Professor HMM Herath to accept the Orator Medal and the certificate and deliver the prestigious Professor T. Varagunam Oration.
The chief guest, Dr. Anil Jayasinghe, and the guest of honor, Dr. Virginia Hood, President, Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, Dr. Krishant Jayasekara, and the council members of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine 2025, trustees and the past presidents of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, family members of late Professor T. Varagunam, my colleagues from Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine and other specialty colleges, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to all of you. It is a great honor and privilege to stand before you today to deliver Professor T. Varagunam Oration. To be invited to contribute to this prestigious tradition bearing the name of one of the Sri Lankan giants in internal medicine is a milestone in my professional career. Following the tradition, let me briefly go through the academic career of Professor Varaganam before I move to the oration today. Professor Varaganam, who hailed from Batticaloa, had his secondary education from Royal College of Colombo, where he won many prizes in science. He passed the MBBS from Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo with honors, and he got his specialist qualification from UK. He worked as a resident physician in Colombo General Hospital before he joined the newly established medical school in Peradeniya. He started the Candy Society of Medicine. While he was at Peradeniya Medical Faculty, he developed the newly established Department of Medicine along with late Professor Marken Marker. After he became Professor of Medicine, he spent his sabbatical years at the University of Illinois in Chicago, the USA, earning the master's degree in medical education. On his return to Sri Lanka, he, along with late Professor Bibile, started the Medical Education Unit, which subsequently became the WHO Regional Center for Training Medical Teachers. Professor Varaganam's research covered a wide field, including medical education. Professor Varaganam's expertise did not go unnoticed. WHO invited Professor Varaganam to Geneva, Switzerland, to lead research training for a new program on tropical diseases. After a decade of distinguished international service with the WHO, he returned to Sri Lanka, where he served another decade as the Chancellor of Eastern University. Despite his global engagement, he never lost his connection to his roots in Peradeniya. He continued to serve the medical fraternity until his demise in 2018. On personal note, I had a rare privilege of meeting him in 2017 during the inaugural oration of Professor T. Varaganam, which was delivered by Professor Shanti Mendis. Professor Varaganam's academic journey and his contribution to the medical education reminds me one of the greatest educationalists in the world, Dr. John Dewey. He once said, "Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself." With that inspiring quote, I now turn to today's oration. The title of the oration, "The Sri Lankan Diabetes Paradox, a looming public health crisis." Incidentally, today marks the World Diabetes Day, and giving an oration on diabetes on a day which is dedicated to diabetes feels especially meaningful. I'm sure the term paradox is familiar to all of us in this audience, but let me quickly define it again. In our context, a paradox is something which is happening, which was not expected to happen. On one hand, Sri Lanka has a well-developed health system that has achieved remarkable progress and is often celebrated as the global success of health in the world. However, this success story hides a shocking reality. When it comes to the management of world's fastest growing chronic disease, diabetes mellitus, we are caught in a third world trap. Our diabetes management remains far below expectation. This paradox, where our health system, which has performed so well, is failing at this critical health challenge. This paradox is the key theme of my oration today. To understand and resolve this paradox, I'm going to answer 4 critical questions during my oration. These four questions would serve as the roadmap for this oration as well. The first question is, how big the diabetes crisis in Sri Lanka? Second question is how to screen diabetes in the community. What is the best way? What is the best test to screen diabetes at the community level? Third question is what's happening to diabetes control at the community level? And the fourth question is what is path forward? To fully address those four critical questions about prevalence, diagnosis, control, and path forward, we must ground our discussion in irrefutable local data. And over the past several years, we have been doing our research activities focusing on those areas. I will present the key findings from our research projects, drawing specifically on these 5 high-impact publications, all published in leading international peer-reviewed journals. These 5 publications forms the backbone of this oration. Let's begin with simple yet vital facts that define the global landscape of diabetes. As you all know, type 2 diabetes is the commonest form of diabetes, accounting more than 90% of diabetes in the world. It is growing very fast, very fast. It is estimated that there are around 500 to 800 millions of people with diabetes globally. The latest projections suggest that this number will hit over 1 billion by year 2050. The consequence of this rising epidemic of diabetes are staggering. Diabetes causes millions of deaths globally each year. Diabetes kidney disease alone causes over 2 million deaths per year. It is the leading cause for blindness in adults. It is the leading cause for CKD in adults. It is the leading cause for amputation in adults. Tragically, the life expectancy is reduced by 10 to 20 years in diabetic patients if their diabetes is not well controlled. And finally, the burden is fundamentally inequitable. Approximately around 80% of people with diabetes live in low and middle income countries like Sri Lanka. Type 2 diabetes is a progressive condition, and we can generally categorize the development of type 2 diabetes into 3 key stages. The first stage is asymptomatic stage, where patient can have diabetes, but they don't know. And there are many people in the society, in the community, with asymptomatic diabetes, but they don't know. But of course, their risk of having complication is same as with a patient with symptoms. And they would come to the medical attention only after they developed symptoms related to complication, unless we screen them. I'm going to discuss that in detail later in my oration. Then we come to the second stage, where the patient has symptoms. Symptoms could be due to hyperglycemia, or symptoms could be due to complication of diabetes. And finally, the end stage complication of type 2 diabetes mellitus, involving both macrovascular and microvascular complications from top to bottom, from skin to brain. And when the patient developed all these complications, the prognosis is very poor, much worse than most cancers that you know of. With that, let's focus on the first question: how big the diabetes crisis in Sri Lanka right now? According to the IDF, the prevalence of diabetes in Sri Lanka is around 10%. This figure frequently cited and serve as the magnitude of diabetes in our country. However, we must critically evaluate if this estimate is true. It is important to understand how the IDF arrive at these estimates. They rely on modeling and extrapolation. They are not always based on comprehensive, real-world, community-based studies conducted across the entire nation. The crucial question is whether these estimates are true. By rely slowly on these data, we risk underestimating the magnitude of diabetes epidemic in Sri Lanka, which could lead to critical shortfalls in national healthcare planning, resource allocation, public awareness campaigns. Therefore, it is imperative for us to know the true prevalence of diabetes mellitus. To truly understand the gravity of current epidemic, we must look at what happened over the last 3 decades. In 1994, a publication by Fernando and his colleagues showed the diabetes prevalence around 5% in a semi-urban community. As you all know, the prevalence of diabetes in urban and semi-urban communities are high because of their lifestyle. Even in a semi-urban community, in 1994, the prevalence of diabetes was just 5%. 10 years later, in 2004, the picture was somewhat changed. Vijayawardena and his colleagues did a multi-province study, obviously, which is better than the study conducted by Fernando and his colleagues. That reported the national prevalence has jumped to 14%. The most recent data published by our team in 2023 revealed the full scales of the catastrophe. This study found the prevalence of diabetes had surged to a breathtaking 23%. What does this tell us? Within 3 decades, the prevalence of diabetes in Sri Lanka has grown up by nearly 5 times. This is not a slow, manageable progression. This is an exponential explosion. This is diabetes explosion. The question naturally arises, why should we put our trust in the 23% figure? The answer lies in the unprecedented rigor of the methodology used in the Sri Lankan health and aging study. The SLAS is not a small regional sample. It was a first wave of a national longitudinal study conducted from 2018 to 2019, specifically designed to give us the most accurate national picture of health, including diabetes. The study used stratified, multi-stage probability sampling method across all districts of Sri Lanka to ensure that every adult had a similar chance of being included. Out of 10,000 households contacted, we achieved an exceptional 65% effective response rate. The most importantly, we used the gold standard oral glucose tolerance test to diagnose diabetes, in addition to fasting plasma glucose, in some cases HbA1c. There were 6,661 participants. As mentioned earlier, the prevalence of diabetes mellitus in Sri Lanka stands at a shocking 23%. This is more than double the IDF figure, and this signifies a profound underestimation of the present crisis. An additional 30% of adult population has prediabetes, meaning they are at risk of diabetes. When you put both figures together, more than 53% had either diabetes or prediabetes. So 1 in every second individual got some form of dysglycemia in Sri Lanka. This reality placed Sri Lanka among the highest diabetes prevalence countries in Asia and probably in the world. This is the true and dire landscape of diabetes in our country today. Conventional wisdom often links diabetes risk directly to obesity. What is true? While it is true that diabetes prevalence increased with higher BMI, the SLAS data reveal a disturbing truth unique to our region, the normal weight problem. The table on the right uses WHO Asian BMI cutoff, which are already lower than those of Caucasians. Look at the group classified as normal weight. The BMI between 18.5 to 22.9. In this group, which is traditionally considered healthy, the prevalence of diabetes was alarmingly high, 18.2%. Why is this? It is due to a phenomenon often termed lean fat or toffee. Thin outside, fat inside, toffee. South Asian population, including Sri Lankans, tend to accumulate visceral fat around their organs at a lower external body weight, drastically increasing their metabolic risk. You will notice a drastic rise in the diabetes prevalence. When you look at the chart in your left side, you will notice a drastic rise in diabetes prevalence as the BMI crosses the 18 mark. After this critical, after 18 to up to 23, there is a drastic rise of diabetes prevalence. After this critical cutoff of 23, the curve largely plateaus. These findings suggest that the standard BMI cutoff for South Asians are not simply adequate to capture the true diabetes risk in our population. And therefore, we probably should not use Asian BMI cutoff slowly to stratify diabetes in our population. We need to think beyond BMI for accurate individual risk stratification for diabetes. Let's look at the age and the prevalence of diabetes. The prevalence of diabetes was low among younger adults, less than 30 years. But from the age 30 to 60, we see a rapid, almost exponential climb. And this is the critical window where the risk of the condition accelerates dramatically. By the time we hit 60 years, the prevalence is already sitting around 50%. This slide dissects the prevalence by gender, ethnicity, and geography. The upper bar chart reveals an alarming difference in prevalence among ethnic groups. While all groups shows high burden, the prevalence among Muslim population is prevalence of diabetes in Muslim population is over 40% compared to around 20% in other ethnic and religious groups. This finding is critical. It mandates targeted, culturally appropriate, and specific health intervention tailored to Sri Lankan Muslim population to understand and mitigate the underlying factors driving this massive disparity. Now let's move to the gender. Diabetes prevalence is significantly higher in women than in men. This finding is somewhat unique to Sri Lankan, as most studies in other countries have shown a similar prevalence rate in both gender. Therefore, it is important to focus more on females to mitigate this higher risk. Finally, the map of Sri Lanka illustrates the geographical reality of this crisis. As you can see, highest prevalence were found in densely populated districts such as Colombo. The prevalence of diabetes prevalence in Colombo district is 34%. In Jaffna is 30%. We need a geographically segmented approach, prioritizing high burden areas like Colombo and Jaffna for intensive preventive strategies. With that, let's move to our second question. what is the best test to diagnose diabetes at the community level. Prevalence is a sum of known cases and newly diagnosed cases. Based on our data, around 14% were known to have diabetes. An additional 8.7% were newly diagnosed. This brings to our total diabetes prevalence to 23%. And a staggering 38% were previously undiagnosed and only diagnosed during the study. As we use both fasting plasma glucose and OGTT, we were able to compare the performance of fasting plasma glucose against the gold standard OGTT. As you can see, fasting plasma glucose has poor sensitivity and only diagnosed 4.2% as having diabetes. In compared to fasting plasma glucose, OGTT classified 7.1% as having diabetes. However, we all know that how difficult it is to perform OGTT in the community setting. It's cumbersome. Then we need to look at an alternative test. What about HbA1c? In our next study, we assessed diagnostic performance of HbA1c compared to fasting plasma glucose. This was the paper published, and the objective of this study was to investigate the diagnostic performance of HbA1c and compare it with fasting plasma glucose. And also we wanted to find out the optimal HbA1c cutoff for detecting diabetes for our population. We randomly selected previously healthy adults without history of diabetes, but having family history of diabetes. We wanted to recruit high-risk, previously healthy people for the study. And then we compared fasting plasma glucose and HbA1c against the gold standard OGTT. This bar chart compares the detection rate of fasting plasma glucose, OGTT, and HbA1c. Fasting plasma glucose alone detected only 12%, and the OGTT detected slightly more, 16%. However, HbA1c at a cutoff of 6.5% had the highest detection rate, classifying 27% of the population as having diabetes. This is a stark difference. If we had relied slowly on fasting plasma glucose, we would have missed more than half of the cases, and our prevalence figures would have been grossly underestimated. The finding underscore the diagnostic strength of HbA1c in Sri Lankan population. HbA1c cutoff of 6.5 gave a sensitivity of 78% and the specificity of 82%. In contrast, fasting plasma glucose had much lower sensitivity of 65%. HbA1c cutoff of 6.5% or more is widely accepted cutoff for diagnosis of diabetes. American Diabetic Association in 2010 endorsed HbA1c with a HbA1c cutoff of 6.5 or more as the diagnostic test. And the subsequent year, WHO also endorsed the same thing. However, many previous studies have shown different ethnic groups have a different rate of hemoglobin glycosylation. For example, under same condition, the HbA1c level in Chinese is lower than that in Caucasians. Another study conducted in Malaysia showed that HbA1c cutoff, HbA1c of more than 6.5 has lower sensitivity for newly diagnosed diabetes in Malayan and Indian population. Therefore, we need to identify a single most effective HbA1c value for our specific Sri Lankan population. To do this, we employed receiver operating characteristic curve or ROC curve, which is visualized here. The ROC curve maps the trade-off between the sensitivity and specificity across all possible cutoff values. The goal is to find the point on the curve closest to the top left corner, which maximize both metrics. The best cutoff value to predict diabetes using OGTT as the gold standard test was at 6.35%, which gave an optimal balance of diagnostic performance with a sensitivity of 80% and the specificity of 79%. Now we come to the most practical question for public health officials and for clinicians. What is the test we should use to screen diabetes at community level? The finding from our studies, particularly head-to-head comparison of diagnostic tool, gave us a clear, undeniable answer that demands a change in our current approach. Fasting plasma glucose is simply insufficient. We must acknowledge that rely on fasting plasma glucose alone is completely insufficient for community screening. Why? Because we simply cannot afford to miss more than 50% of our diabetic cases during the screening process. Therefore, the ideal strategy would be to have a combination, maybe fasting plasma glucose supplemented by HbA1c. The clinical bottom line for clinician here in this audience is that fasting plasma glucose, normal fasting plasma glucose would not exclude diabetes, as it has a poor sensitivity. The sensitivity is around 65%. It has a good specificity. If the test is positive, there is a very good chance that your patient has diabetes. But if the test is negative, that does not exclude the patient's having diabetes. This leads us to the next and perhaps the most important part of this oration, the control paradox. Based on what we discussed so far, we know that diabetes burden in Sri Lanka is quite high. The most important question that follows is, what is our health system doing about it? Are we effectively finding, treating, and controlling the diabetic cases that we know exist? To answer this, we move from prevalence data to a system performance matrix, the diabetes care cascade. This analysis tracks the entire journey of every person with diabetes through our health system, from the first step of being diagnosed to achieving disease control. This is our next study. By applying the data, the rigorous nationally representative data, we were able to evaluate real-world performance of our health system from detection to ultimate control. Let me say a few words about care cascades. The care cascade is a framework. It's a step-by-step model used to map the journey of every person with diabetes in a population from the moment they develop the disease to the point where they achieve the optimal control. Its primary purpose is to clearly visualize and quantify the leakage, the percentage of people lost at each step, so that the resources can be targeted precisely where the health system is failing. As you can see on this slide, we use 6 critical steps to trace this journey, beginning with all people who have diabetes, which include non-diabetes as well as the diabetic patient that we diagnosed during the study. So this is called true population. The subsequent steps are the point where our system, health system, attempt to engage the patient. First, ever tested. Have they ever been screened for diabetes in the past? Have they been previously confirmed as diabetic? Aware? Are they aware of their diagnosis? Treated? are they currently taking any medications? Control, are they achieving optimal glycemic targets? This slide shows the tragic reality of the care cascade in our community. Let's look at the leakage. Out of the entire population who have diabetes, only 86% are ever tested, and only 62% are formally diagnosed as having diabetes. That means we have already lost 38% before treatment even begins. The most significant drop-off, however, happens between the diagnosis and treatment. Of those diagnosed, only 45% actually receive the treatment. Think about that. By the time the treatment is started, 55% of the people with diabetes in our community have been lost from the system. And finally, we hit the paradox wall. The control rate. Only 20% achieve even suboptimal diabetes control of HbA1c 8%. We know that the HbA1c 8% is not a good control, but only 20% even achieve that control. And worse, only 12% achieve the optimal diabetes control of HbA1c below 7%. In total, from the moment the disease exists, 88% of patients are lost before they ever achieve the recommended optimal control. This is the tragic reality of the diabetes care cascade in our community. However, before we sink into the despair about our poor control, let's take a moment for much needed acknowledgement. Our health systems still perform better in early stages in the care cascade compared to other low middle income countries. When we benchmark Sri Lankan performance against 20 other low middle income countries, a positive pattern emerged. Sri Lanka outperformed most other low middle income countries in 3 steps that rely on system accessibility and engagement. Testing. Sri Lanka 86%, other low middle income countries 63%. Diagnosis Sri Lanka 62%, others 44%. Treatment Sri Lanka 45%, other low middle income countries 38%. So we are still better at reaching the community, screening and starting patients on treatment journey. However, we underperform when it comes to the final and the most crucial stage, which is control. As you can see, we achieved 20% control in compared to 23% control in other low and middle income countries. This comparative data confirms the control paradox. We successfully get our patient into the system, but once they are there, something breaks down. What factors are responsible for this poor performance, especially at the critical point of achieving glycemic control? Our analysis showed that factors like age, gender, geographical location, ethnicity, and the level of education had no significant effect on the care cascade, especially once the treatment has started. This means we had to look deeper. We then investigate the socio-economic status, comparing the rich versus poor. We found evidence of clear pro-rich inequity in the early step of the care cascade. Wealthier individuals were more likely to get screened, diagnosed, and treated, often using the private sector for fast access to care. However, the most important finding was the control anomaly. Despite pro-rich advantage in access to care, there was no significant difference in control outcomes between rich versus poor. Our data also suggests that the public sector, used predominantly by the poor, provide a comparable quality of care to private sector when it comes to the glycemic control. That means there has to be something outside the socio-economic status and other factors which I mentioned earlier, which affect the diabetes control. This was investigated in our next study. This study was done in order to assess the factors affecting the glycemic control, especially with regard to the poor compliance on glycemic control. We used randomly selected diabetic patients and used HbA1c to assess glycemic control and visual analog scale to assess the dietary and drug compliance. And this was a published paper. And we used logistic regression analysis to identify the true determinant of good glycemic control in our population. We tested standard clinical and demographic factors against control, including age, gender, duration of diabetes, and compliance with both medication and diet. As you can see in this forest plot, none of these factors, apart from poor compliance, significantly predict the poor glycemic control. There are many factors which can affect the poor compliance, such as cost, health belief, accessibility, knowledge, and attitude. We were interested to explore the general public knowledge and attitude and practices towards diabetes. That was what we did in our next study. We conducted this study to assess the knowledge, attitude, and practice related to diabetes among general public. And this was the paper which was published in BMC Public Health. Since there was no previously validated KAP or knowledge, attitude, and practice questionnaire suitable for unique lifestyle and cultural context of Sri Lanka, we developed and validated KEP questionnaire for this study. We followed the standard validation process, which include content adaptation, face validation, content validation, and assess the clarity and comprehensibility, and the final version of this robust questionnaire was then used to gather the crucial KEP data for our study. This is the validated questionnaire that we used. This tool is freely available for any researcher or public health officials, and as a testament to its rigor and utility, this questionnaire was used many times and has been cited in over 150 subsequent studies, both locally and internationally. This is what we found. Over 75% of our public, general public, had moderate or above moderate knowledge about diabetes, including its risk factors, basic management principles. But the crucial problems lies in attitude. We found overwhelming majority, close to 90%, had poor attitude towards diabetes. This poor attitude is rooted in deep-seated misinformation and mistrust. For an example, majority believed that long-term medication cause organ failure such as kidney failure, and therefore should not take medication continuously. More or less an equal number believed that herbal remedies such as tebu leaf were better than medication prescribed by doctors. This fundamental lack of faith in prescribed treatment regimen is the primary barrier we face. This poor attitude translates directly into reckless practices, explaining the poor practices. The overwhelming majority of our population that we studied eat sugar and carbohydrate without any restriction. More than 80% did not engage any regular physical activities. This data is the smoking gun. It shows general cross-section of the population. It is the reality. This is the central finding that must drive our future strategy. The need to shift from merely providing knowledge to building trust and enforcing adherence. Ladies and gentlemen, we have spent last 40 minutes confronting an undeniable reality. Diabetes is the single most urgent health crisis facing Sri Lanka today. We showed that the single barrier, or the single greatest barrier, is not the lack of resources or lack of medication, but the poor compliance driven by knowledge and attitude gaps. The paradox can be resolved, but only through decisive action, sustained commitment, and a collective will to transform our third world diabetes reality into first world diabetes care standards. Sri Lanka stands at a crucial crossroad. We have the infrastructure, we have the knowledge, and the opportunity to prevent crisis from defining our nation's health future. We must move away from the mindset that a single organization or society or college should bear the entire responsibility for this challenge. And similarly, no single entity should claim exclusive ownership of the solution. This is a challenge we all face. It's everyone's problem. Therefore, every stakeholder must commit to a vigorous, concerted effort to manage and overcome it. Based on the evidence presented today, I propose 3 important and integrated steps. The first, we need massive national campaign tailored to Sri Lankan community to address the preventive action and critical knowledge and attitude gaps. We must utilize social and other conventional medias, community leaders, and all other stakeholders to achieve this. Today I came from Galle. While I was traveling, I was listening to radio, and the announcer reminded the audience or the listeners that today is World Diabetes Day. And he said that diabetes is very common in Sri Lanka, which is true, and we all are at risk of getting diabetes. Then he commented that because of our lifestyle, busy lifestyle, it is impossible for us to engage in exercise and healthy diet. Therefore, he recommended this particular herbal tablet as a preventive measure. He repeated the same thing again and again every 5 minutes. I couldn't believe my ears. This is what's happening outside. They spread lies that affect the diabetes reality that we discussed so far. The second strategy that I propose is that we need to have a mandatory diabetes screening for all adults over 30 years of age, irrespective of their risk, irrespective of their BMI. Every single person over 30 years should have annual diabetes screening. And we should integrate our primary health care system to achieve this target. The third, we must commit to a vision that positions Sri Lanka as a regional leader in diabetes management. We can do this. The problem is clear and the solution is achievable. The time to act is not tomorrow. The time for action is now. With that, I would like to conclude my oration. Before I do that, I just want to thank all the people who supported me during my research journey. I want to thank my family, my wife Naini and my daughter Sydney, who are not here in this audience today, and my mother and my sister and family members for supports that they gave to me, that they have given to me all these years. My supervisors and mentors, the list is huge, but I just want to thank one person, Professor T.P. Veeratna, current Dean of Faculty of Medicine, who helped me from the time that I joined the Department of Medicine. He took me under his wings and helped me in my research journey. Thank you very much, sir, for that. And my colleagues, all my colleagues in the Department of Medicine, they are wonderful. I think our department is the best department in whole Sri Lanka. And the collaborators in Faculty of Medicine, University of Ruhuna, and especially I want to thank the collaborators, thanks the IHP, Institute of Health Policy, Dr. Ravi Ranan Elia and Nilmini Vijaymunige, who invited me to join their research. They are doing marvelous job. Some of the findings that I presented today is because of their great effort. And I'll be failing my duties if I don't acknowledge the support that I received from the study participants, as well as from the different funding sources. Finally, I want to thank all of you for your patient listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for giving us the gift of your expertise with your thought-provoking presentation, which certainly deserves the honor of Professor T. Varagunam Oration 2025. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we are almost drawing to the close of formal proceedings for today's event. But before we move on to the next segment of entertainment, it's time for a very important item on the agenda. Success of this inauguration ceremony today would have not been possible if it weren't for many individuals who contributed in various capacities in making this event a special one and a significant one. Now, to do the honors of officially placing a record of appreciation, I'd like to invite Dr. Sahan Mendis, Honorary Joint Secretary, Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine, to the lectern.
Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to deliver the vote of thanks this evening on behalf of the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine. It is indeed a privilege to express our collective gratitude to all who made the 9th annual academic sessions a resounding success. To open this note of gratitude, we extend our heartfelt appreciation to our chief guest, Dr. Anil Jasinghe, the Secretary of the Ministry of Health and Mass Media, for gracing this inauguration ceremony with his presence and for his continued support towards strengthening internal medicine services in our nation. We are deeply honored by the presence of our guest of honor, Professor Virginia Hood, Emeritus Professor and the President of the International Society of Internal Medicine. Thank you, Madam, for your encouragement and for enriching this event with your presence. Our sincere gratitude goes to the orator of the distinguished Professor T. Varagunam Oration, Professor H.M.M. Herat, for delivering an inspiring and thought-provoking address. We sincerely thank our past presidents for their continuous guidance and encouragement. Our deepest gratitude goes to the President, Dr. Krishantha Jayasekara, for his visionary leadership, Joint Secretary Dr. Rakita Higgoda, Treasurer Yapa Udekumara for their continuous commitment and dedication, and the Council of the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine for their fullest partnership and commitment. You are the pillars of strength behind this successful event. Our appreciation extends to the presidents and representatives of all professional colleges and the distinguished officials of the Ministry of Health who are present here with us today. Your collaboration strengthens our collective mission to uplift healthcare standards in Sri Lanka. We extend our gratitude to the Director Nursing, Mrs. M.B.C. Samanmali, who has immensely supported in her administrative role in enhancing nursing education in collaboration with the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine. And all the special grade nursing officers who are present here today, representing the National Clinical Audit Centers who contributed to make the nationwide audit successful. We are grateful to all the speakers of this year's annual academic sessions, including our eminent foreign delegates from the American College of Physicians, Mayo Clinic, Arizona, United States of America, Association of Physicians of India, Association of Physicians of Bangladesh, and Society of Internal Medicine, Nepal. Your participation enriches our scientific dialogue and strengthens international academic collaboration to further heights. We extend our sincere gratitude to the Scientific Congress Chair, Dr. Suranga Manilgama, for steering this academic endeavor with excellence. We extend our thanks to the scientific session chairpersons and coordinators for kindly accepting our invitation to conduct the scientific program in the conference next 2 days. To all resource persons of our pre-Congress workshops, thank you for sharing your experience and expertise so generously. To the enthusiastic participants of the pre-Congress workshops, thank you for your active engagement and trust in SLCIM as a center for knowledge dissemination. We extend warm appreciation to all applicants of SLCIM awards, including Research Grant, Best Published Paper, Best Nursing Innovation, and the Most Innovative Service Improvement Project. While congratulating the winners wholeheartedly for their achievement, we thank all reviewers and judges of the awards who dedicated their time to uphold the academic quality. A special acknowledgement to all authors who submitted abstracts, the reviewers who selected them, and the judges who kindly accepted to evaluate the oral, poster, and case presentations. Your contributions ensure the academic integrity of this Congress. We are truly grateful to our journal editors, Dr. Suranga Manilgam and Dr. Madhuvanti Hettiarachchi, for the guidance extended to conduct the free paper sessions. We thank the coordinators of the free paper sessions for planning and arranging the sessions to run smoothly. It's with profound gratitude I remind our college editors, Dr. Shashi Karunaratne and Dr. Dilusha Lamabathusuriya, for their enduring commitment, and the copy editor and editorial assistants whose efforts shaped our proceedings and abstract books so elegantly. This year, the SLCIM proudly presents 3 novel publications and reprinted the well-embraced SLCIM Past Test series, demonstrating its commitment to academic advancement. We deeply appreciate the authors and editors of all SLCIM publications who have committed to develop a fruitful collection of knowledge and experience. We thank Mrs. Samudrika De Silva and the team Samudra Bookshop for their professional services. This year, we hosted the SLCIM Inter-University Internal Medicine Quiz with participants from 11 medical faculties. We express our gratitude to the participating medical students, faculty coordinators, invigilators, trainees, and the deans of all faculties, and especially the quiz master, Professor Chamara Dalugama. We warmly congratulate the winning team from the University of Sri Jayawardhanapura and thank them for joining us today to receive the trophy. SLCIM marks a significant milestone in its digital transformation by unveiling its new digital platform, SLCIM app and PCCIM app. We express sincere gratitude to Mr. Dishan Fernando and his team for designing SLCIM app, whose innovation brought to the SLCIM app and its designs to life, and to Mr. Sustikar Enoch and his team at Susit Khaldin Private Limited for developing and activating the PCCIM app. A heartfelt thanks goes to all Clinic Council members who contributed to launching our digital platform. I appreciate Mr. Nishanta Athapattu for his invaluable support with the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine web and its integration into the SLCIM app. We also appreciate the creative contributions of Mr. Chamika Jayasekara, Mr. Nalina Vanasinghe for producing beautiful videos, and Dr. Rochana De Silva for the exceptional background narration. No vote of thanks would be complete without acknowledging the enduring efforts of the college staff, including Mrs. Chintani Dayananda, Dr. Uween Deelaka, Dr. Tishila De Silva, and Dr. Chanu Munasinghe, who have worked tirelessly day and night to ensure the success of SIMCON 2025. We also appreciate our young team of doctors, Lishani, Naveen, Sinali, Siluni, Netmi, Kalindu, Dylan, Arjuna, Sheshan, and Navisha for their dedicated support in event arrangement and coordination. A grateful mention goes to our compeer, Dr. Sajana Vanigasuriya, for steering the inauguration ceremony with elegance. Our heartfelt gratitude is extended to Mr. Rodney Hunukumbura, Mr. Samita Punchiheva, Mr. Saman Disanayaka, Mr. Ravishka Dismel, Mr. Sanjeeva Medi Arambegidara, Mr. Chatura Marasinghe, who have always been a strength to SLCIM and their steadfast commitment and sponsorship to make SIMCON 2025 a success. We extend our sincere gratitude to Mr. Ranga Vijayaratna of Classic Lanka Travels for serving as our official travel partner and for providing exemplary support in coordinating arrangements for our foreign delegates. We thank Mr. Amal Ranavak and the Under Photography team for capturing the cherished moments of this event, and Mr. Nalina Vanasinghe and Impress Events team for seamless event coordination. Our appreciation also extends to Mr. Praneeth Saranga, Mr. Prabhat Nayana, LJ Dancers, and the Dara Musical Band for adding color and vibrancy to tonight's cultural segment. A sincere thank goes to Mr. Shohan Alvis and the staff of the Hotel Shangri-La for their support in preparing the venue and ensuring a smooth, elegant event experience. To our families who inspire us, motivate us, and gracefully accommodate the many hours we dedicate to this event, we offer our deepest thanks. To all our distinguished invitees and guests who are present here today, thank you for your encouragement, your presence, and your continued commitment to the mission of SLCIM. SIMCON 2025 would not be a resounding success without the gracious, generous support of our sponsors. Your contribution is instrumental in achieving brilliance in this event. Let me gratefully appreciate our sponsors. Our Diamond Plus sponsor, SERL. Our Diamond sponsors, PNG, Renata, Gates, Silogen, CCL, George Stewart Health. The Platinum sponsors, Morrison, Hilton Pharma, Inventia, Farm Evo, AstraZeneca. Our gold sponsors, Cipla, Sun Pharma, Pfizer, Novo Nordisk, USV, Imedra. And the silver sponsors and the bronze sponsors. We look forward to your continued partnership as we work together to uplift internal medicine in Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, as we bring this vote of thanks to a close, I wish to reaffirm once again our commitment to this year's guiding theme, our One Nation, One Standard, Achieving Excellence in Healthcare. The breadth of work carried out by the Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine throughout the year has been remarkable, spanning clinical audits, digital innovation, academic programs, national collaborations, and capacity building initiatives across the country. These achievements were possible only because of the dedication, expertise, and generosity of many who contributed in countless ways. To each individual, partner, institution, and team who helped us uphold this theme through a vast range of college activities, we offer our deepest appreciation. This collective effort strengthens our mission and brings us closer to a healthcare system where excellence is not the exception, but the standard for every citizen. Thank you all for walking this journey with us. Thank you very much, and wish you a pleasant evening ahead.
Thank you very much for those warm words of gratitude expressed to everybody involved in making this a memorable event. As we move on to the next part of the agenda, I'd now like to request the dignitaries at the head table to please take your seats in the audience. Also, thank you for your gracious presence and expertise at the head table today. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to the entertainment interlude as we celebrate the fellowship of our esteemed gathering. Get ready to witness a mesmerizing symphony where music speaks, rhythm breathes, and art comes alive. This evening, we present an extraordinary saxophone and violin fusion performance showcasing the brilliance of two Sri Lankan talented musicians, Mr. Prabhat Nayana on the saxophone and Mr. Praneeth Saranga on the violin. Their performance beautifully blends Sri Lanka melodies, Indian classical traditions, and Western harmonies, creating a captivating symphony that unites culture through music. Adding to this magic are the LJ dancers, known for their grace, rhythm, and contemporary flair. Together, they bring a vibrant celebration of tradition and artistry. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause as we welcome Mr. Praneeth Saranka, Mr. Prabhat Nayana, and the LJ dancers on stage. Thank you very much for that beautiful performance. On that vibrant note, ladies and gentlemen, we conclude the inauguration ceremony of Sri Lanka College of Internal Medicine Conference, SIMCON 2025. We will be commencing the academic sessions from tomorrow, and I'm very certain that this year's forum will provide you plenty of opportunity to initiate discussion as well as to share knowledge on the most cutting edge of topics related to medicine. As we wrap up our proceedings tonight, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for enriching our occasion with your presence, and we are grateful that you have taken your time to be with us today. I'm Dr. Sajana Vanigasurya. It's my pleasure to be your host for today's program. Now, may I kindly request you all to please rise as we have our dignitaries leaving the hall in a ceremonial procession. Ladies and gentlemen, have a pleasant evening. Thank you.